Hi guys, this is Moldran and I just wanted to give you a few tips about budget builds in Diablo 3, and there are a few things that you need to consider, like to get most out of your budget. Like, I know there are some people out there that like to reroll classes like I do. For example, I reroll a Demon Hunter, and there are also people that just like to change the build, for example from a tank barb to a double tornado barb, and need to update or get gear for a given amount of budget. And it's important to like get most out of the budget. So what do you need? First, you need to know the stats that you're trying to achieve. For example, I know that for a double tornado barbarian, if you gear for example for like 3, I want to have certain minimum stats of like all resistant and stuff. And for example, my preferred stats for like 3 are as double tornado barb, 38k HP, 800 all resist. This means that 800 fire, physical and arcane resist mostly. Poison and lightning can be a bit lower. Doesn't matter if lightning for example is only at 600 and the other side 800. Then I also want 6 to 7k armor, buffed. I'm talking about buffed with Warcry right now. And then I also want 1.3k life on hit. And high percent crit. Like, I don't know what the exact value is, but it's around 40 to 45%. That I feel comfortable enough to clear X3 and get enough Fury back. And that's it. That's it. And the thing about budget builds is it doesn't matter what your budget is. Whether it's 5 million, 10 million, 20 million or 100 million. You just want to get the maximum out of it. And I'm gonna show you a few tricks, how I value gear, how I build budgets, and yeah, hopefully you guys get something useful out of it. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I look for items and how I buy them with a given budget. Like the first items that you want to buy. You want to get the maximum out of your gold. For example, we're gonna use belts. And let's look for belts. On a belt you want to have strength, because strength is a very good stat on belts, and here with the minimum values you want to enter values that other people like don't search for. So you want to find some niche, and what this means is you don't want to enter 200, 250, that's what everyone does. You want to enter like 225 strength and 33 all resist for example, because people most times look for 50 all resist, but there can be really good items with only 43 all resist. And then you also look for the third stat, vitality for example, and breath surge. And yeah, the budget in this, let's say it's 500k. That's like for a 10 million gold whirlwind barbarian budget, like where you spend for example 4 million gold on the weapons and 6 million gold on the gear. And now what you also need to have is an item valuation spreadsheet. Like Excel is pretty good for that, but you can also use Linux spreadsheets if you want to. And this was made by other barbarian called Siriev, so credit goes to him. This is like a general barbarian spreadsheet. So for example, if you're playing a whirlwind barbarian, you wanna like change some numbers here. Crit chance is more important as whirlwind barbarian because it's not just for the pure DPS, but also serves as for the fury regeneration. So you want to give it like 10 to 15% more value, so we just change this to 35. Also changing usually the life on hit from 0.4 to 0.6. Yeah. You can also change other values, but we don't need it right now. And yeah, as a budget barbarian, lifesteal is not that important because you're gonna have anything between 15 to 28k DPS, and it doesn't really matter. Of course, you need to compare like the buff DPS, but that's still only 35k with Wrath of Berserker, Thrive on Chaos, and Battle Rage. So what you wanna get is pure stats. You wanna get DPS somewhat high and especially all resist. The most important stat in my opinion, together with life on hit and crit and vitality. Now we can't get life on hit and crit on a belt, so that shifts the focus to strength because it's the special stat for belts and all resists. Okay, let's look for a belt for example. Okay, here we have one. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take that belt and compare it with other belts. For example, let's take a look at the value of this belt in our system. 27 strength, 28 vitality. Then we also have 35 fire resist and 49 ore resist. So this gives us a score in total of, I'm using sum. This is the German version of Excel, so don't wonder, it's just the German version. Alright, so we got 371 score here for a belt with strength, vitality, ore resist and fire resist. But the thing is, most people look for vitality, so why not try to look for something else, and maybe we can get, and what I also like to write down is like the gold what it costs, in this case 450k. But yeah, most people search for vitality, so what if we actually use life percent, for example, which is also a good stat. Alright, there are no items here, so but we can continue to search, for example physical resist. Right, nothing here. And for example fire resist. Like physical and fire resist are the two most important resists. That's why they are valued a lot. Like physical is actually valued the most, and then arcane and fire together. Like physical you need for desecration, ethics, but also like to tank hits. Like most mobs deal melee damage, and that's why you need physical, and that's why physical is valued more than for example poison, which just helps you against plagued. And fire is important because of affixes like Moldran, which is pretty strong, and same with arcane against the arcane enchanted. Well, yeah, let's see. Alright, we got here a few belts. This is the one that we had already. This one looks good. Yeah, this one is better. Like here we got a belt with very good ore resist. Let's compare it. 225 strength, 29 dex, 36 fire resist, and 68 ore resist. The score of this belt is 385. So this belt is stronger than the other belt, and what does it cost? 200k. So we save 250k gold and we get a better belt by looking for fire resist instead of vitality. And that's how you should really go for the first items. You just want to try to maximize your score. And what I like to do is like, this only works for the first items that you purchase. For example, you purchase the first 6 items and try to get the best value for your gold. And with the remaining budget, like before you spend it on the rest, what you gotta do is you wanna enter the game, equip all the gear that you bought with your budget so far, and then take a look at your stats. For example, if you see, oh, I only have 25k HP, then you need to put the focus on HP on the last pieces. If your ore resist is too low, you know that you need to focus that. If your crit chance is too low, then you know that you need to get, for example, rings with crit. And that's why I like to leave like items like rings at the end, because in rings you can most likely only get 1 or 2 stats because they're very expensive, but you can like customize rings to get the stats that you need. You can either get 150 vitality, or you can get 4% crit, or you can even get life on hit if you are missing that a bit. But yeah, as I said, this is for the first items. Maximize whatever you can for the amount of budget you have, and yeah. And yeah, that's it. In the future I'm gonna make my videos a bit shorter, like less than 10 minutes, but release more of them. For example, a video every day or every second day. And you might have noticed I also got a new haircut, and I really like it. It feels awesome, and it's especially great for outdoor activities like swimming or cycling. Today I was swimming, and like my hair got dry after like 30 seconds. It's pretty good. But yeah, in future I also want to do some real life videos, vlogs and whatever it's called, some funny stuff. And yeah, Diablo 3 had many problems, still has many problems, but I read the patch notes of 104, and it looks pretty promising. Like, I'm sure now that Diablo 3 is gonna be good again in the future, and it's gonna be a game worth playing. And I really look forward to the next patches, and especially the PvP system. And yeah, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.